Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, hello there, I'm Djinn, this is Marvel Heroes, all things Gambit. In this video, we're going to talk about Gambit, we're going to talk about his costumes, we're going to talk about his powers, we're going to talk about his synergies, and we're going to talk a little bit about his uniques. Now, I would like to say a little disclaimer here real quick that I put power points into every single one of Gambit's powers, so I don't have an optimal build in this video or anything like that, because I wanted to show off every power, so I wasted a lot of points. I'm going to have to respec, and then I'll work with builds and stuff at a later time. And as far as his gear goes, like artifacts and stuff, I don't have those optimized at all either. I kind of just have, some of them are good, but some of them I just have random stuff thrown in there, just because I was leveling to 60 and I was just wearing what I got. I wasn't wearing, I guess, end game artifacts yet. Now, all that being said, Gambit is a mutant with the power to convert potential energy in an object into destructive kinetic energy. Now, he can do this with pretty much any object for the most part, and he chooses to do it with playing cards. So if you see Gambit throwing out a lot of cards, that's because that's his weapon of choice. First, this is the default Gambit costume, which is the modern Gambit costume. I don't know, you want to call it uniform, whatever. You mouse over it, it says costume. So it's a costume. And it's looks pretty good. I wouldn't say it's bad at all. It looks pretty nice. And secondly, we have Gambit's classic costume. This one also looks really good. I think both the Gambit costumes are outstanding. Yeah, he only has two, but luckily they're two good ones. Because, I don't know. Like, I enjoy running around as both of these. Or in both of these, I should say. Now, let me know in the comments below which one of these costumes is your favorite. And I'll tell you at the end of this video which one of these costumes is my favorite, and I'm pretty sure you can probably guess, but just in case, I'll let you know. Yeah, onto the powers, see? Alright, and real quick before the powers, you'll notice Gambit has this bar down here. It's called the Kinetic Charge bar, and when it fills up to 100%, you go into Overcharge mode, which will boost up your powers or whatever, some powers, surge powers that is, and we'll get into that as we go through the powers. Now, to raise this bar, you just gain points in the bar while you run around. As you can see, it's going up from just running around, as well as striking enemies. So as soon as you cold clock an enemy, there you go. And yeah, so just keep that in mind, and we'll go over this bar a little bit more later. But for now, just this bar affects surge powers. Now moving along to the powers, the first tree we'll go over is the bow combat tree, and the first power you get at level 1 is Bow Strike. It's a melee basic fighting power, and it's pretty much just a whack. It'll do physical damage, it'll weaken the damage dealt by the enemies. As you put points into it, it'll increase both of those things. And this is what it looks like. You just are whacking with the bow. And let's clobber some enemies. The next is Bow Beatdown, which you get at level 14. This is another melee basic fighting, and this does physical damage. It opens up the enemy's vulnerability. Debuff lasts for 5 seconds, and as you put points into it, you just increase the damage and the vulnerability. This is what this one looks like. Get a little kick in there. Let's use it as some enemies. Alright, and at level 3 you'll get Sub8 Expert. This is a passive. It'll add defense rating every time you hit with a melee power. It also increases your maximum health and tenacity. And every time you put points into it, it will increase all three of those things. At level 32, you'll be able to unlock Grand Slam. I love these at Denny's. I want one in my mouth. I'm just kidding. Anyways, you get Grand Slam. You slam your charged bow staff into the ground, causing a shockwave that stuns enemies. This does energy damage, knockdown. As you put points into it, you just increase the energy damage. The knockdown seems to be 2 seconds, but I don't know. I've never fully spec'd into this. This is what it looks like. You slam the ground, you can see the AoE radius, and this is what it looks like on guys. See the little slight knockdown in there. Also, you'll notice a Grand Slam is a surge power, so this will go again with that Kinetic Charge bar at the bottom. Alright, and at level 8 you'll be able to get Street Sweep. This is a fighting and surge power, again, works with that bar at the bottom. This does energy damage and it stuns the enemies. As you put points into it, you'll increase the energy damage and the stun. This is what it looks like. Whack. And let's use it on some enemies, as usual. Stunned, 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 unstunned. At level 24, you'll be able to unlock Bow Vault. This is a melee movement area power. Vault over your enemies, knocking down enemies with the impact of your landing. This does physical damage and knockdown duration. As you put points into it, whoops, you'll increase the physical damage and the knockdown duration. Let's give it a gander. Use it, you jump, you slam. We'll use it on this bench here. Wow. Alright, let's use it on some enemies. And finally, at level 42, we have All In. Now, with this one, you whirl your bow staff around and you just smash guys that get in your way. It does physical damage, and it's an ongoing spirit cost because you'll see. You keep it going, you just hold down the key and you can basically go until you run out of spirit. As you put points into it, you increase the damage. This is what it looks like. You just run around whipping that staff around all crazy like. And you can run into enemies if you want. Well, they're all in bubbles. And it'll just chew through these guys. You can see some of them are dying. Next up, we have the Kinetic Mastery tree. First up, we'll go to Royal Flush. This is a ranged surge. Once again, remember, surge power. And it does energy damage. As you put points into it, you'll increase the energy damage. This is what it looks like. We'll zoom out a little bit. It's a wave of cards that comes out in a cone AoE effect. Oops, I accidentally blew my surge. You can see them all glowing there. I just pointed at the screen as if you could actually see where I was pointing. Yeah, and this is what it does. You just throw it at fellas, and it hits them. Next up, at level 4, you'll get Wildcard. This is a range basic power. And if you use a spirit power right before you throw this, the next Wildcard you throw will do double damage and stun the target. This is Wildcard by itself, so you just throw it. It's like a single card. This is what it does to enemies. It just hits them like a normal attack. As you can see, it stunned that guy because I used the spirit power first. So it did more damage than it normally would have, and it stunned him. At level 28, you'll be able to unlock Dead Man's Hand. This is another ranged basic attack. You'll randomly throw 2 to 5 cards in a line, which stops at the first enemy hit. It does energy damage. As you put points into it, it'll increase the energy damage it deals. This is what it looks like, so it'll randomly throw 2 to 5 cards, like it said. You can see a lot of 2s. There's a 4, there's a 5 right there, there's a 3, there's a 3, there's a 4, there's a 2. And, yeah. So it doesn't penetrate or anything like that, but it will do a lot of damage. Alright, so at level 1, you'll have Kinetic Overcharge. No matter what, you start with 1 point in this, always. Now, this just explains what the kinetic charge bar down there is. It means your next surge power will be overcharged when it gets to 100. And this just basically increases the effectiveness of that kinetic charge bar. It increases the energy damage, the attack and movement speed, critical rating, while you're in that kinetic overcharge state. And also, another cool thing that this adds is if you pick up environmental objects, like if you pick up a chair or a trash can or something, you'll actually do a percentage more damage throwing it than normal other heroes would do. So as you can see at the rank I have it right now, it says it will do 35.7% extra damage with that chair. On the one rank up, 37% more damage, so that's what this is. It's just a passive that increases your kinetic overcharge and that other cool stuff. Next up, at level 10, you'll be able to unlock Fold'em. This is a ranged movement area. Launch yourself back while tossing out charged cards, damaging and slowing enemies who are hit. This is what it looks like. You throw it and you jump backwards, so it's kind of like an escape attack if you're trying to get out of a huge pile of guys. I don't even want to fight that guy. Those bubble guys are annoying. Boom. See, get me out of here. I'm pinned. I'm pinned. Oh, but I'm not pinned anymore because I jumped backwards. At level 22, you'll be able to unlock Kinetic Control. This is another passive. This increases your damage to far away targets, and it increases your maximum spirit. So it's cool because you always have that maximum spirit upgrade, but it will increase your ranged attacks as well. The farther the enemy is away from you, the more damage your ranged attacks will do to them. As you put points into this, you'll increase the percentage of damage as well as the maximum spirit that you have. At level 47, you'll be able to unlock Stack the Deck. This is a ranged power. This does energy damage and has a certain rate of fire. As you put points into it, you'll increase both the energy damage and the rate of fire. This is what it looks like. It's like a machine gun of cards. I hope he has a lot of cards on him because you can hold this down for a while. That's a lot of cards. And this is what it does to enemies. It just eats away at them like any of these spray type powers that other heroes have. At level 2, you'll be able to unlock Ace of Spades. This is an area ranged attack. Throw a card that sticks to an enemy and explodes shortly after. The explosion timer will go off after it lands in 1.5 seconds. This does energy damage. It slows their movement speed, and it'll last for 3 seconds. As you put points into it, you'll increase the energy damage it does as well as the slow to their movement speed. This is what it looks like by itself. It explodes if it doesn't hit a guy. See, it's stuck to him, stuck to him, stuck to him, bam, blew up. And he's slowed. You can see the spaghetti monster legs down there. That means he's slowed. See you later, pal. And finally, for the Kinetic Mastery tree, we have 52 card pickup. This does energy damage. It slows the enemy's attack and movement speed inside the area of effect. And as you put points into it, you'll increase both of those things. And this is the area it will go in. You'll use it, it'll just go around you. And this is how it hits. And finally, we have the Vagabond tree. The first power you get is Good Times Roll. This is a melee movement fighting power. You roll forward and you stun enemies that you hit with it. It will increase the stun and the crowd control as you put points into it. This is what it looks like. I use it for transportation, but you can also roll right through enemies and it'll briefly stun them. Alright, at level 6 you'll get Sleight of Hand. This is a passive. This will increase your dodge rating, and your energy damage will have a 20% chance to deal extra damage when you dodge an attack. As you put points into it, you'll increase the dodge rating as well as the damage that your energy damage will do on the random chance that it gets to do that when you dodge an attack. At level 12, you'll be able to unlock another passive called Sticky Fingers. This one increases your rare item find and your credit find. I like this one for farming if you really want to just stack this on this guy and a bunch of credit find gear and rare item find gear. You can get both of those pretty high already from gear, and then this will just add to it. As you put points into it, you'll increase the rare item find as well as the credit find per drop. At level 18, you'll get your first suit power. This is Red Suits. Your range powers restore spirit while Red Suits is active. So you press the key to activate it, and you can see you have these little red card icons floating around you. And as you hit with range powers while this is active, you will restore spirit. Alright, so next at level 26 you'll get your second suit power. This is Black Suits. So the way this works is if you hit with a ranged power, it'll do more damage, but it'll also put a debuff on your enemies that'll make your melee powers, your bow staff powers, do more damage as well. So you have to hit them with a range power first, and then your bow staff will do more damage. As you can see, it does the damage rating to range powers, and then another separate damage rating to bow staff powers, but first you have to hit him with that range power to get that bow staff buff. Either way, this is what it looks like. As you can see, I still have the red buff on. It'll cancel that because you can only have one at a time. Now I have the Black Suits buff. Alright, and at level 37 you get this other power called Cheat Death. Defy death itself when it would come to claim you. Now, I've honestly never used this power, and it scares the heck out of me, and I don't intend to use it right now. So, this is your incentive. If you don't have Gambit and you want to level them, and you want to see what this power is, you should do it. Because this power scares the crap out of me. I'm not going to use it. I don't know how to use it, and I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Forgive me for skipping this one power. And finally, at level 30, you'll get Gambit's signature power. This is called Ragin Cajun. You immediately gain 100 kinetic charge, so my bar right now has 0 in it. You can see it's completely blank. It'll fill that up all the way, cleansing any negative status effects, and gain immunity to crowd control for a short time. So this will generate 100 kinetic charge, costs 15 spirit to use, 40-second cooldown, which isn't too bad. And then you'll get a buff while you have it on as well. Immune to crowd control, critical rating plus number, dodge rating plus number. The buff duration will last for number, and it has a synergy with his ultimate power. Now as you put points into this one, you'll increase the critical chance, the dodge rating, and the buff duration. That's why I was just saying number, because those numbers are variable. Whereas the generate 100 kinetic charge, spirit cost, and cooldown are always the same. This is what it looks like. Boom, you use it. 100 kinetic charge instantly, and glowy red eyes. Rawr. Because, yeah, anyways. Alright, and finally, Gambit's ultimate power. It's called Shari. And, so what he does with this is he calls in Rogue. So Rogue will fly in, lift him up, and Gambit will throw all kinds of crazy cards out and other explosions all over the battlefield, and that is the bulk of the ultimate. So it'll deal massive energy damage, 7 hits it says. The summon will last for 20 seconds. So after that happens, Rogue picks you up, flies you high into the sky, and you blow up the battlefield. Rogue will actually land and fight with you for a while. Now Rogue has physical damage of herself. I don't know. Anyways, Rogue has her own damage, but that's not, like, that's just an added bonus to the ultimate. The ultimate alone is really good with just the damage that it does off her initial blast, or off Gambit's initial blast. Gambit's the one doing the damage, not Rogue. She's just lifting him up. Rogue does stick around and fight with you for a while, but that's just a bonus, like I said. As you can see, I have it at level 1. Oh no, I upgraded it. Now it's at level 2. So I just wanted to see what that would upgrade. It looks like it upgraded the damage, and it lowered the cooldown, as well as the health and defense of Rogue. It didn't change the summon duration though, that's still 20. But anyways, let's check it out. Alright, here's a lot of guys. I just use it. It explodes the battlefield, like I said. Do you see how many guys it just killed? Yeah, that was a lot. And then here's Rogue out. Let me get a close-up view. Oh, Shocker just punched her across the map. There's Rogue going toe-to-toe with Shocker. Obviously, she can't be too OP, because that would be broken. Come on, Rogue, get him. Yeah, let's beat him up together, Rogue. Oh, Shocker's doing something. He's actually... Oh, and he killed Rogue, or maybe your time just ran out. I don't know. But that's the summon. As you can see, the summon isn't OP or anything. It's very cool to see, I think. I think it's pretty awesome to see Rogue just come out and fight with me. And the cool thing was that battlefield, it just completely cleared this room out. There was like, I don't know, probably 20-something guys in here. And in the matter of 1 second, I just one-shot all of them. Alright, and real quick, let's take a look at Gambit Synergies. At level 25, you'll get plus 5 credits per drop, and at level 50, you'll get plus 5% rare item find. So those are two cool little stats you can add on to Synergies of people who you might want to be farmers or whatever, I don't know. Alright, here real quick, I'm going to go over some of Gambit's uniques. I don't know all of Gambit's uniques, and I probably don't have them all, but I do have 3 of them, and I'm going to show them to you. They're not level 60, but I'm going to show them to you anyways. So he has Death's Black Staff. This is one of them. This does, you know, this is what it does. This is all the crap. It adds to his bow powers. It adds to black suits. Here's another unique. This is actually really low level, level 28. But hey, what can you do? I haven't found a good one yet. So this does movement speed, dodge speed. It gives +1 to speed, the stat or whatever, which is awesome. Spirit, special item find. Gain 10 spirit when you defeat an enemy, +2 all in, which is good because I actually use all in, and +2 rank of good times roll. That's okay because I use good times roll also, even though I really just use it for mobility. Alright, and the last one I have is this sweet rifle. This is a unique, as the other ones are, because it's orange. I don't know why I stated that. We already knew that. Anyways, mine is level 44. When you hit, you gain a small amount of kinetic charge, so it'll increase that kinetic charge gain. It adds damage to range power, spirit regeneration every minute, critical rating, brutal strike rating, attack speed, rare item find, and +4 to all kinetic mastery powers. Now I say +4, but I'm sure that varies with each version of the unique, higher level, whatever, different rolls, random number generation, whatever. Okay, so that's the uniques. Alright, and it's that time for the end of the episode, and this is my favorite costume. I did tell you I'd tell you what it is, right? Well, I'm showing you now. It's the Gambit Classic costume. I like it because I grew up with Gambit wearing this costume, so in my mind this is a little bit more what he looks like than the modern one, but I still like the modern one as well. Now, all that being said, I hope you've enjoyed this video at least a little bit. If you're new to my videos, you can check out my channel. I have a ton of other Marvel Heroes videos out there, and seriously, just thanks a ton for watching, honestly. I can't thank you enough. I guess that's all I got for now. I'm Dejan. This is Marvel Heroes, all things Gambit. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. Bye!